Before we start, can I ask everyone to sit up? Why do our parents, teachers, and adults always ask us to sit up and have a good posture? I believe sitting is a position of receiving. I sit in front of a computer for almost 7 continuous hours a day, just purely absorbing information. So, does the way we sit affect how much necessary information we absorb? I believe it does. When we sit hunched over, we end up collapsing the lower one third of our lungs. And then this lower one third ends up trapping almost 2/3 of all oxygen coming into our bodies. Small things like this sometimes make the biggest differences. And if we want to learn under the best conditions, we need to put ourselves under the best conditions. When I was 8 years old, I came up with a very silly email address, abihulk13. As all of you must understand how embarrassing this is when telling other people. However, Hulk was and still is my favorite superhero. He is my favorite because no walls or barriers can stop him from reaching his goal. That's why we're going to be using him as an example to help us break through our own walls and barriers to reach our final goal of productivity. There are three main walls or supervillains robbing us of productivity. They are digital overload, digital dementia, and digital distractions. So how do we break through our first wall, digital overload? I think the term digital overload is pretty self-explanatory. It talks about too much information, too little time. It's about the bombardment of excess knowledge and vast information available that our brain can't properly comprehend everything that we see, listen, or read. Not only the information we see through the internet on our laptops, but also on our phones through all of the notifications of likes, comments, and shares we see every hour of every day. So how do we break through this wall and get over digital overload? Too many devices. We need to narrow down the information we see down to only focus on what is important to us and not get distracted. Small things like doing your work on your laptop while having your phone on the side is extremely bad. Because every time we see a notification on our phone, we get a dopamine rush. And this inclines and pushes us to check our phone. Another such bad habit is multitasking. Research clearly shows that there is no such thing as multitasking. Rather, it can be called task switching, where you go back and forth between two or more tasks. It takes almost 5 to 25 minutes to fully reset, reacquire, and get back in the zone. When I talk about multitasking, I'm not talking about listening to music while driving. I'm talking about doing two different cognitive activities at the same time. And research clearly shows that this is simply impossible. And cognitive experiments not only show that multitasking decreases efficiency, but also increases error rate. Now to the second one, digital dementia. Digital dementia talks about our overdependence on technology. In today's world, a lot of our day relies on our technology. Our phones and laptops dictate what we do and what is best for us. Small things like writing down someone's number as soon as we hear it, or a GPS always telling us where to turn left, right, and where to stop, are destroying our cognitive abilities due to their underuse. We are so easily influenced by technology these days that we don't use all of our cognitive abilities. And this results in destroying some of our neural pathways. So how do we break through this wall? Now, I'm not going to tell you to stop using your phones or laptops. Rather, I'm going to tell you small things like taking a shower in the morning. Theta is a brainwave state, and it is the state of creativity. One way we get into this state is by taking showers. And taking a shower in the morning lets our imagination run wild, because then we can properly think without distractions and effectively plan out and decide what moves the needle the most. What I mean by moving the needle is what makes the biggest impact in our lives. Another way of beating digital dementia is reducing the number of electronics we use. And this segues into our third wall, digital distraction. Nowadays, we're always connected to the online world, either through our laptop, phone, iPads, or TVs. And it simply makes no sense why we need so many devices around us, especially since we get distracted so easily. The average human attention span is a shocking 8.25 seconds, and it has reduced by 33% since the year 2000. Goldfish now have a higher attention span than humans. Now, my next point is something that I am guilty of, and many of you are as well. Using your phones in the first hour of the day is horrible. Why is that? I, as well as many of my classmates, the first thing we do when we wake up is roll over in bed and turn on our phones. We open up Snapchat, Instagram, or our emails. We look at what our friends are up to, what their friends are up to, and so on. We look at what they are doing to be happy, and we unconsciously try and replicate that because we believe we'll get the same result. If I see someone on vacation having fun while I'm at home feeling overworked and stressed, it demotivates me. And I start to look at what they did to get to that position. This results in blocking my own state of creativity because we become so narrow-minded. We stop looking at what's best for ourselves. Instead, we hope what they did works for us too. Now, I understand all of this is very easy to say, but hard to put into action. So one extremely easy way to start is to have a to-do list and a not to-do list. We all have to-do lists as it keeps us organized and on track. However, a not to-do list is just as important. Things that would be on your not to-do list are things that waste your energy, time, and focus. Things like multitasking and using your phone in the first hour of the day. Another thing that should be on our to-do list is something we all know but often forget: the importance of a sleep schedule. Letting your body and mind have a schedule determines how much they can grow and repair. And this in turn affects how well they work and how efficient they are. So together, we can break through these walls and reach our goal of productivity. That's why I challenge you to try these few steps, starting with not using your phone for the first hour of the day. Try this for the next week, and I promise you will see changes. Thank you.